from WCIA3 Plus with your hosts Rob Good, Katie Biquette, and Deane Geiken. You're watching Geekspeak Central.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Geekspeak Central. I am your host, Rob Good, and it has been a while, but we are back with our main group here. Kaity and Deane are back. We've had some guests for a lot of our episodes recently. The summer creates a different schedule, so we have to accommodate. But today we are going to be talking about AI. It is a big thing that is, it's affecting everything.
Yep.
Everything. And there's a lot of controversy about it. There's just a lot to talk about. I think there's good things and bad things about it. And
I'll have to say that our conversation is, and we're not going to be pro or con necessarily. It's just how it could and has been used, at least in my personal experience.
Ooh.
So.
I'm excited to hear your personal experience.
Should we just go from there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so for whatever reason, and I don't remember why, I recently had to come up with an RPG adventure for a game. It's essentially Dungeons and Dragons, but it was set in the Revolutionary War with a new skin. I think I've talked about this before. It's Nations and Cannons. Cool. And I was just at a loss of what to do. I don't know. Maybe I was tired. I don't know. But I was like, I'm going to try it. And I have only dabbled in Chat GPT or AI type stuff, right? And when I did it the first time, it's that old adage of garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know what I was wanting to do in terms of prompts and stuff like that. I had a bit of an idea. And what I got out was not very good.
Yeah, from what I understand, that's the key is those prompts. Without good prompts, you're not going to get good stuff.
I exactly remembered that, and I was like, okay, hang on, let me refine this. And I typed up an idea that just, for whatever reason, just kind of just came to me. Sure. And I typed in a few extra prompts, a little bit of detail, and kind of set the stage, I should say. It was my idea, not AI. AI does not create, it only gives you options.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay? It does not create. It only gives you options on what you create. And what I got back was really darn good.
Yeah, I do know of, there's people out there that use AI to take their basic idea and really flesh it out. And
that's exactly what AI is good for, because it only gives you the skeleton. You have to put the meat on the bone.
Yeah. And the thing about AI that's really the more controversial part, it's like everybody seems to understand AI has its good uses, but where is it getting those tools from?
Yeah,
right.
A majority of its things are stolen.
Yeah, AI image art kind of thing is like it's learned to recreate that art from actual artists, and it's learned to create writing from actual writers. And that is not a good thing.
See, I'm not using art in this particular sense. It was my idea. And what's kind of interesting is if you give it a style of writing, like your own style of writing, it will try to emulate that.
Yeah.
And what I got back as I was reading through it, I was like, wow, that's a pretty good idea. And then there was another one. It's like, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it started to hallucinate bits and pieces of the rule set, right?
Yeah.
See,
and I figured out a solution.
Good job watching it.
Okay,
What's the
you
solution?
figured out a solution.
I downloaded the rule set.
Yes,
because I own it.
Sure.
And then you have to have it cite the page in the rule set that it's pulling from so that you can double check it.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thing.
And things worked really well.
Yeah.
That way.
The thing that I feel about AI is people don't really understand what they call it artificial intelligence.
Right.
But I think that makes people think
it's
something that's not true.
It's a branding thing completely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a thing, like these are still programs.
Just
They are not thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they're not thinking creatively without your help.
It is essentially nothing more than a really muscular search engine.
Yeah, yeah.
But it can lie to you.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry,
absolutely.
it can hallucinate.
Oh, yes.
Yes. hallucinate, whatever
Another
you want to
very,
call
very
it.
good branding by the people who are doing AI.
Because really what it is, I mean, you say lie, you say hallucinate.
It's just making things
I
up.
say it's just making junk
making
up.
stuff.
It's just
filling
creating
in the
junk.
blanks. It's filling in the blanks with a type of logical assumption for what it doesn't know.
It's like a Mad Lib.
And unfortunately, the logic is built on people who have programmed it, and the people who have programmed it are typically from, certain like races and demographics, and that kind of bias then replicates itself within the agents, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I've seen lots of stuff online about people like using AI to create whole campaigns, and I kind of feel like, you know what? I understand not everybody is going to have the time and the ability, the creative skill to create what like Pathfinder would call an adventure path, like a level 1 to 20 adventure campaign. But the thing is, to me, I'm like, if you need something, like these companies put out great campaigns that are actually written.
Yes, and just go buy them.
Just go buy a Paizo adventure path and play Pathfinder.
Right.
Just go buy,
It's already been
one
written
of the
into
one of the
editors.
numerous adventure hardcover books that they put out for 5th edition.
But it does sound like Dean's was a niche enough game.
And now that you have said what you said, it was it reminded me of why, because I'm using a campaign book, but the next step in the campaign it felt too much like what we had already been doing in terms of the mission and stuff like that. So I wanted to break it up, kind of a palate cleanser. And so I was like, I'm going to make for lack of a better reason, a dungeon crawl adventure in the setting of a
I think that
setting.
is a key thing. Is I think that AI is much better utilized sparingly.
Yes.
Like this is a really obscure reference, but there used to be a game called Hole, and it had in the Game Master book, it had a thing where there was this NPC that they said could come in and swoop in and save everybody. He was the Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
And his name was Edgar Sparingly.
Oh.
And it was, and they're like, the key to using Edgar Sparingly is in his name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Use Edgar sparingly.
Nice.
And I was like, I've always liked that. That is such a funny game from like White Wolf back in the day.
Right.
And I think AI is the same way. It's like you got to use it sparingly to help boost little problem spots, but not writing whole campaigns.
No, I don't think that the thing is that when I did it, I did almost as much writing and editing as I would have done normally, but I had the bones and the structure all put together.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And the other thing that did happen is when it says, do you like this? I can turn it into something in a printable form. It changed everything that I already liked, and it was not as good. So I had to go back to what they had done before.
That's nice.
It had done before.
And that's like when that's the step too far.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And you do have to give it a format that is already maybe published or something like that, a sample of something that you like.
Because it doesn't know what it doesn't know.
Your prompt really matters.
Like, the prompts matter, and it doesn't know what it doesn't know.
Right.
Like, when you were first talking about this, I immediately thought to back in 2nd edition AD&D days when they had the soft cover books that was like the Napoleonic Wars and the Revolutionary Wars, like source books so you could play 2nd edition in those settings. Yeah. And I'm like, I wouldn't myself be able, I don't think I would be all that good at writing an adventure set during that. Like, period. Because I'm not I don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing like a fantasy world, like Forgotten Realms. I can do that
pretty easy because you've been there.
I've always said I could run a superhero game with my eyes closed.
Yeah, and the opposite would be for me because if it isn't Superman or Batman or Spider-Man, I don't know. Crap.
So using AI for those kind of things, and the thing is, it's 2026.
Yes.
Like these tools are out there. They're not going anywhere.
You can't ignore it. I wouldn't say you have to embrace it, but you cannot ignore it.
Well, and there's things like, talking about D&D Beyond and Roll20 and fantasy grounds for like digital, virtual maps and virtual tabletops. And, during the pandemic, for example, I ran a whole bunch of Pathfinder with friends because we had nothing to do, but we couldn't go anywhere. So we had to do it, using Roll20. And I was like, that's a really great tool that 10 years previous to that, I'd been like, well, I guess I don't get to do anything with my friends.
Are you conflating Roll20 with AI right now?
No. I'm just talking about digital tools.
Using tools.
It's just
Yes,
a tool.
digital tools.
Using tools.
And, Roll20 is nowhere near AI.
Yeah, no.
But my point is using digital tools like Roll20 for a virtual tabletop, like I use Hero Lab for character building because I don't want to have to search through a million books.
Sure.
AI is a tool.
Yes.
AI has been around
be
longer
helpful.
than people think.
Oh, yeah.
If you use Grammarly, you use autocorrect. If you use anything in Photoshop over the last 20 years, you've been using elements of AI.
All of that stuff has been incorporated, and it's getting more advanced, faster and faster and faster.
Yeah. Do you mind if I share my experience with AI in gaming?
Sure.
Do we have time, or do we need to
Oh,
catch
yeah,
a break?
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, why don't we go ahead and take our break now,
Cool.
and then we will come back, and that will be what we'll talk about.
I can't wait.
Cool.
So we're going to go to our
segue.
2-minute break, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Geekspeak Central. I am Rob Good, and we are talking today about AI. It's kind of led into talking about digital tools for gaming in general. Some good things, some bad things. But Katie, you said you wanted to share your experience with using AI.
Sure.
So let's go for it.
Yeah, especially within the realm of gaming. And
Yes.
at my job, they're like, let's start to look into AI. But as you two, and I'm sure our viewers might know, I have my master's degree in library and information science. So getting that really, really drilled into me, needing to understand the source of things and where things come from and that they are true. So within creating stuff, I've kind of shied away from it, but I do still use autocorrect and correcting spelling and things like that. But I've only used AI in creating maybe a blurb for a show, or maybe ideas for a show title. But my boyfriend, who works in helping people or helping Microsoft explain their products to people, is using a lot of Copilot. And when we were playing our Star Trek RPG together, I saw he developed an agent to ask questions, and then I'm just like, that thing can lie to you. How do you know it's true? And he's like, I have it cite the page numbers in the source book, and then I go back and look it up, and I'm like, okay, good. All right, I'll allow it. So that is something that you need to kind of put into your agent to have a good prompt.
That actually reminds me of an article I read online that was talking about teachers using AI, or having to deal with students using AI in their classroom.
Yeah, and that did happen in my class, actually.
And it's there's this, I don't know, call it an epidemic of students who are like, I'm just going to go have ChatGPT write my paper for me.
Can I tell you a little bit about that?
Sure.
All right, so we do have issues with students using AI in their assignments these days, like me and then one of my co-professors at the university in our board game class. And I was totally new to it this time, and I'm like, clearly this student hasn't actually played this board game they're talking about, and then I have to watch a watch through of how it's played just to see all the parts that clearly the AI he had made it up. And then I was complaining to my co-professor, and she said, what you have to do is you have to have the students cite every single thing. If they say this color is in the board game, they have to cite where it is, because then they can't have AI just kind of hallucinate it and make it up. And it's so wise. So that's how we're dealing with it, if you'd like to know.
Yeah, the article that I was reading was actually was talking about this one teacher talking about their solution to dealing with students wanting to use AI was to basically say, I want you to do this assignment using AI, actually directed them to use AI.
Yeah.
And then the actual assignment was then, okay, let's bring this back. And now let's look at your assignment and point out all of the things that AI misled you on. And basically it was more about teaching the students things like why AI is not the thing you should be trusting all the time. Just like you shouldn't go to Wikipedia and just cite Wikipedia. That's why there's sources at the bottom.
Exactly.
You know, go to those sources, you know, because anybody can go on Wikipedia and change that.
Exactly.
You know, and AI is
They've got
similar.
lawyers.
It's going to scour those same articles, and it may or may not give you the right stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I ran into when I was creating that one design on the game is that it was coming up with stuff that didn't exist until I gave it basically a framework to work within.
Yeah,
You have to cite and check and make sure that what you're using doesn't need to be exactly accurate.
Yeah.
But I will say that once it finally had the instructions, it was really darn
You know,
good.
I feel like the bottom line is sort of a thing that I live by in general is always be skeptical.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for our governmental EPA protections to kind of like shore up to make more laws about where they can and can't build these data centers.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in the
that's how-
meantime, I'm going to use it very sparingly, if at all.
Yeah. I think you got to be very skeptical about how you use AI, and it can be useful.
Yeah.
But if you take it too far
Yeah.
and trust it too much, it's going to kind of bite you.
Don't let it lead you
Right.
Yeah.
into a psychosis.
So, yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our second break right now. I know it's a little quick for that, but we got something else we want to talk about after this break. So we're going to take that, and we'll be right back. And welcome back. You're watching Geekspeak Central. I am Rob Good, as usual. I am here with Kaity and Deane, and we wanted some extra time today to do our normal wrap up of the show where we talk about the things that we have that we're into, you know, side nerd quests, I guess you can call them. And you both had some very interesting things to talk about. Who wants to go first?
Good question. Okay, I'll go super quick. First of all, the reason I haven't been around, end of the semester, it's a tough time. And then exactly on the end of the semester, I went away to St. Louis to Geekway to the West. Where is it? There she is. Yay! The best 4 days in gaming. Just kidding, I stole that from Winter War.
You're going to get sued.
So Geekway to the West is just, 4 days of pure board games. It's when I actually catch up on the state of the art, because all semester I'm teaching people how to make games. I'm in Kudo Plays, teaching
And
how
like
to make
looking
games.
at the most recent, the newest stuff that's out, and
Exactly.
like the trends and things.
So I finally get to play their Play to Win, and some of my favorites are Ice and Idols. There's a real trend with a Lazy Susan on your game board these days. And so that when the cave changes, and then you have to like update your strategy, it's great.
I've got a game like that. It's a volcano, and you have to switch, and wherever your piece is set at, that changes your ability to gain or earn.
I can't say that I've seen. I mean, I understand the concept.
New trend, huge.
But I
table
have not
presence
seen any
trend.
games like that or played
Yeah.
any. That sounds really cool.
Some games call it a mancala.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then of course Elizabeth Hargrave does it again. Oh my God. The game's called Sanibel, and you are collecting shells on a beach.
I've
and
heard about
it's
that one.
Good. It's so good. And I was like, this is a great game. And then I was like, it's gonna win prizes. And someone's like, oh yeah, they said it's up for Kinderspiel, which is the child's game of the year. And I'm just like, ugh, leave it to the Europeans to be like child's play. And I'm like, that's fair. One I did not like was Xenealogy. We're talking like they needed a whole company to come in and be like, your player colors shouldn't be the same as the sections of the planet that you have to beam down on to go to if there's no mechanical relation to those colors.
Yeah.
And then they used those colors again in the mothership, also no mechanical relation.
So they're just making it confusing because most people would be like want to connect those.
Exactly.
Right,
Doesn't
yeah.
it suck when you have a game that's mechanically not that hard, but the actual like visual communication of it is so fraught that it actually turns people away from the hobby? And this is something I'm very passionate about. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I had a great time. And then in addition to Geekway to the West, the same thing. The same days, May 14th to 17th, we have Show Me Burlesque Fest in St. Louis.
Okay.
So I spend 40 minutes getting ready in a car, putting on a different outfit and makeup, and then I show up at the Burlesque Fest just to observe, just to see what's going on, and then also to make some purchases. I just so happened to pick up
We'll go back to that.
this
What would a
wizard
trip
hat.
to any con be without purchases?
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, right? Isn't she beautiful?
It's very
So
nice.
this is Magic Miss L's new wizard hat, and it happened to be on sale at the Show Me Burlesque Fest. And can I remember the artist of it? No, I cannot. But, oh my God, can you believe? So
It's very cool.
that is what happened. Came back just in time to wrap up the Savoy Lumiere Film Festival put on by my friend Nat Dickman. And I did Foil, which, the final documentary was, of course, Tight and Nerdy, which is the documentary about a burlesque troupe who only does Weird Al songs. So we had a few Weird Al numbers after that live in theater, and I made this little foil hat because I did the Weird Al song Foil, if you can believe it. And we have, it's a foil hat, but it also has our wizardy celestial patterns. Okay, all right. That's all my things, I think.
All right.
Kaity
Well,
Deane.
that
Side
does
quests.
seem that's a lot of stuff.
So many side quests I've been up to.
Yeah, that's a great thing about the summer. There's always fun things going on. And speaking of fun things, Dean, your thing that you wanted to...
Yes, I took some time off over the last weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend, which is usually a big weekend for me for a number of different reasons. But I participated in the Spirit of Vincennes Rendezvous in Vincennes, Indiana. It's the site of Fort Sackville, which is the original site of the fort that was captured by George Rogers Clark, the big brother of the other Clark, of Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
And this was in 1779, and so we participated in the reenactment. I was with the Culpeper Minute Battalion. We're on the field there, getting ready to do a volley fire. And what was really kind of interesting, my wife was able to attend after not being able to attend for the last 5 or 6 years for just reasons that just didn't work out. But so it was really nice to have her along, and a lot of our friends in the Culpeper unit were there. One of the cool things was that we had an embedded reporter from ARD, which ARD is a German national news company. It's a lot like CBS or PBS or anything like this. And that is Torben Borgens, and he is very well known in Germany, and he was basically my right-hand man. I was in charge of making sure that he was able to drill correctly, shoot correctly, go through all the stuff. And it was really interesting to see the hobby through the eyes of someone who has no prior knowledge of it whatsoever.
That is true. That is sometimes like when you have like a new person playing Dungeons and Dragons, or you have a new person playing a board game that they have no concept of like the times I've had to try to explain D&D to my family that is not gamers.
And American infantry is drawn from the French tradition, if I'm not mistaken, right? With
it was trained by a German.
Well,
without getting into the history, it was von Steuben, the German guy who retrained the American infantry. So anyhow, that's the people in regular clothes. That was the crew, the news crew, and they were so much fun. They worked so hard. And this segment's only going to be maybe 5 or 6 seconds long, minutes long.
That's the news for you.
But they were there for 48 hours.
wow.
Yeah.
And they had so much fun, and it was just a delight to be part of that. So, and then, we did our thing. We went back home to Paxton on Monday and participated in the Memorial Day parade, and I got a picture with my grandson and granddaughter, and we participated in the Memorial Day parade. Paxton is a very patriotic town, and so we have a number of reenactors who come and participate. And they're, they do a good service for the town, and it was just a lot of fun to have it. I think there we go.
There we got one more picture there.
Yeah, one more picture. That's the statue there, and that cannon is actually an authentic World War II, authentic Civil War cannon that we shoot off every year. And I was informed that in 2029 it will be mine to take care of, maintain, shoot.
For you're in charge.
I am in charge of it until I decide in 2029, because the gentleman who's in it right now, he says, after 50 years of doing it, I'm going to give it to you.
Do you need more cannons? My boyfriend's dad does the War of 1812.
Right.
So if you need any more cannons,
maybe black powder.
Got it.
Well, everybody enjoys, shooting off some cannons every now and then.
What about you, Rob?
Well, the thing I was going to mention is I've mentioned so many times on here that I go to Dragon Con every year.
Yeah.
Tell me you're not going this year.
No, I'm going. I'm going this year. I'm going. I've been going every year since 2006. This will be my 20th year.
Good for you.
I have, and I think I've even said before, I am an eternal member. I found out recently there's a Facebook group for eternal members and they are discontinuing the Eternal memberships.
Wait a second.
Not discontinuing those who have bought us.
You get
bought them.
grandfathered in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like ours are fine.
Cool.
They're not selling any more of them.
So you're going to be a very rare breed.
Yes, like moving forward, I think it's because they've just gotten too expensive. They're like when I bought them, they were expensive. When in 2006, when I first went, they were like $500, and man, I wish I wasn't a broke college student at that time, or just out of college, right? Because I paid quite a bit more than that eventually. But now I think the last I knew, they were costing like $4,000 for an Eternal membership. And it's like, it's not a thing that is, to save money, but it also needs to be worth what you're paying.
Is the return worth $4,000?
Yeah. And so that was just an interesting little thing that I've been thinking about. It's like, oh man, my couple of friends and I who are Eternal members, there's not going to be any new of them.
Cheap at this point.
Yeah, it really is comparatively. But so we do want to, before we go, mention once again, we do have our email address, which is WCIA3plus at WCIA.com. If you want to email us, we would love to hear from you. We haven't heard from anybody yet, so
be the first.
Be the first, yes. Ask us questions and tell us what you want us to talk about, and be great. With that, we're gonna be done for the day for this recording, and we'll see you all next time. So until then, keep being geeky.
Yeah.